from you as well, okay, which is also very important. So the first thing we're going to do, if you take a look at your sheet right here, okay, there are a couple of little sheets. Let's just go through it. There are a couple of little worksheets that we're going to kind of go through. Some of the words and language on the worksheet you may or may not be comfortable with, or you may be very comfortable with. I think you guys will do a pretty good job. You guys look like a pretty smart group. But the first one is what happens when you let go of air in a balloon. Okay, we start off with that question. Turn the page over. Okay, the second page is stirring sugar in water. Okay, that one's going to be a little bit different than the first one. And then the last one, we're going to be heating salt water. Okay, so we're going to do about 3 different little activities. I can always start the first one. I don't know, Ms. Moses and I didn't really talk about how we were going to divide it up, but. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to give you guys a balloon. Okay? How many people have never blown up a balloon before? Okay. All right, well, I always tell my students whenever we're working with balloons, the first thing you need to do, just to sort of loosen up the balloon a little bit, stretch it out just a little bit. Okay? Stretch it out just a little bit. All right, because that kind of loosens up the latex so that when you put air inside of it, it makes it a lot easier, and then you don't get that. How many people ever get that feeling right here? Yeah, when you're blowing too hard on a balloon. Quite really painful. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is take a look at our sheets, all right, and make sure your name is up at the top of the sheet. So we're going to make some predictions, and on this first sheet, what they're asking or what we'd like for you to do is when you make your predictions, sometimes we write written predictions, but this time we're going to ask that if you feel comfortable with writing written predictions, that's fine, but really we're encouraging you to actually draw predictions, okay? And if you don't feel comfortable with drawing, that's okay, it's not an art class, okay? I don't want you to feel that you don't have the ability to illustrate the understanding, okay? All right, so the first question they're going to ask us, let's take a look. What do you think will happen when you let go of the air that's in a blown balloon? Okay, so before we start taking answers, you see in your prediction box, okay, I want you to visualize what you think is going to happen. And I want you to illustrate that in that prediction box, okay? See what that prediction box is? Yeah. So I want you to write down what you think is going to happen, okay? And I want you to draw a picture of what you think is going to happen. So what do you think is going to happen when you let go of the air in a blown balloon? So I'm going to try to blow up my balloon just so you can have a visual of what I'm talking about. All right, let me stretch mine out.
As you write, we want to thank, also just thank you for allowing us to come in. I know y'all have a routine, y'all didn't have a routine with y'all. Just thank you for allowing us to come in and do this, right?
Okay. Oh. Strange, strenuous for Miss Hamilton. All right, so here's my balloon, okay, and I'm going to hold tight to it. So you're going to share your illustrations by writing them down first. If you feel comfortable writing them down, I am an illustrator. I like to draw things. I'm that student, okay? I like to actually draw pictures. So it's okay to actually draw a picture of your prediction if you like to as well, okay? So Mr. Mosley's going to write down your prediction. So what do you think? Let's raise our hand. What's your name, sweetheart?
Destiny.
Destiny. Okay, so Destiny, what do you think?
I think all the air would go out the balloon and it would probably go flat.
Okay, so the air releases and the balloon goes flat. Okay, what do you think?
When you release the balloon, it would go.
Right. So someone said, what's your name, sweetheart?
Cameron.
Cameron said that when you release the balloon, it's going to go all over the place. Okay. Anyone else want to share? Yes. What's your name? Sage?
Zane.
Zane. Okay. Go ahead. What do you think, sweetheart?
I think go around.
Okay, so probably go all the way around and pop. Anyone else? Gentlemen, you have any suggestions? Do you agree with any of the suggestions that have possibly been said already? Okay, so you guys have some idea. All right. Did anybody draw an illustration? Okay. Did you want to have a chance to go up and write down your prediction as an illustration? Okay. All right. Well, go ahead. So your prediction, guys, can be in a written format or it can be in an illustration. As I mentioned to you before, I love to draw, so I learn best through illustrations, and so that works for me. All right, very good. Thank you. What's your name, Sarah? Jacob. Good job, Jacob. All right, so now we're gonna revisit this sheet again, and our next question is, what did you observe when you let go of the air balloon? So this is what we're gonna do. Okay, you're gonna have an opportunity to sort of explore. Stretch it out one more time. Now, depending on how big your balloon is, it's going to definitely depend on what happens. So go ahead and feel free to blow it up and just quickly cap off or hold the bottom of it so you don't release any more air. Yeah. Okay. All right. Good job, Jacob. All right. All right, so now that we have our predictions, now we need to move on to our observations. So, on the count of 3, make sure that everyone pays attention to your balloon. We're going to release our balloons, okay? Are we ready? Are we ready? Yes. Are we ready on this side? All right. Okay. 1, 2, 3. All right, everybody go get your balloons. Thank you, thank you. Hopefully you had a chance to observe what happens to your balloons, okay? Now, the second part to this is your observation. So, if you feel comfortable writing observations, feel free. If you feel more comfortable drawing illustrations of what you witnessed, feel free to do that. So in your observation box, that's what I want you to do now. Spend a little time. You either can draw an illustration of it, or you can actually write an illustration. So in your observation box up at the top. Sort of in the middle. All right, spend a couple of minutes, do that, and then we're going to report back out. Here, let me release mine and see what happens. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Vice. Exactly. All right, everybody's got something written down. All right, so let's share that back out. Who'd like to go first? All right, yes, all right.
My balloon went like zigzagging, just there, and all the way.
All right, so an observation, her balloon went zigzag. All right, great. Yes, Cameron?
Mine went all over the place.
Okay, yours went all over the place. Yes. It flew everywhere. Good, good. Anybody else want to share? Yes.
It flew all over the place.
Flew all over the place. Did anyone do any actual illustrations that they want to share? I've seen some illustrations. Feel comfortable? Anyone else want to tell us verbally what they observed? Yes. You say that one more time, Sarah? It went crazy? Okay. That's a good way to describe it. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Okay, so now that we've made a prediction, okay, and we've made observations, the last part is the explaining, okay? I used to tell my kids explanations are basically your interpretation, what you think, your why, okay? And so that's what we're going to do in this final box, okay? basically, I want you to pretend, okay? You're going to pretend that what you're going to do is describe why this balloon moved, okay? What caused this balloon to move? And you're going to do that in your explaining. Now, again, you can do that with an illustration if you feel comfortable with illustrations, or you can do that in a written text form, okay? But you're going to do the explaining, okay, as to why this balloon moved, what caused this.
Can you mention to them what the wearing glasses?
Yes, the imaginary glasses you're going to put on. Okay, so imagine if you put on an imaginary glasses that allowed you to see what causes balloons to move. What would that look like? Okay, what would you be able to see that would cause this balloon to move? So again, if you feel comfortable illustrating that, that's fine in a picture, or if you feel comfortable doing this in written form, that's great as well. Okay. Give you a couple of minutes to write them down. All right, about 30 more seconds. If you need more time, that's fine. Okay, so we're going to now take some feedback from you all in terms of your explanation. So does anybody want to raise their hand and give some feedback? Layla, what about you? Yeah, tell me why you think. What happened? If you have your imaginary glasses on, what happened? Okay, so the air got out and the air was leaving the balloon. Okay. Cameron? Yes? Okay, go ahead.
The balloon, when I was wearing glasses, the balloon had went everywhere because of gravity.
Okay, so the mention of gravity. Gravity caused the balloon. Okay. Yes.
The air coming out the balloon caused the balloon to move.
Okay. I'm gonna wait for Mr. Wilson to finish this one. So he said, air coming out of the balloon caused the balloon to move.
Air coming out.
Yep, air coming out. Anyone else? Did anyone have an illustration? Anyone have an illustration of what caused the balloon to move? The illustration on the board? Okay, so the last part of this, down at the bottom, what you're going to do is spend a couple of minutes, if you need that time, in order to sketch your idea, okay? So you're going to sketch your idea. So this is your opportunity to actually draw an illustration of your idea as to what caused the balloon to move. So although you might not have taken your words, you might have written it in your explanation. Now we want you all to sketch it, okay? So down at this bottom, this area right here, that's where you can actually sketch it. Okay. What we're gonna do, if you feel comfortable, I'm gonna just put some pictures up on the Elmo. Do you mind coming up and showing us yours? Come on. So let's just get everyone to share everyone's ideas. Okay, do you want to come and discuss it? Darren?
Let me turn the lights off.
All right, so take a look at your sketch and just explain to your classmates what you got there.
That's the blue, and it's gonna come out the blue, this character.
Okay, very good. All right, let's give them a round of applause. Thanks for sharing. Yes.
I'm saying that that's the balloon and that's the air that's coming out of it.
Okay, thank you for sharing. Let's give her a round of applause. Anyone else like to share theirs? Come on, three's my favorite number. I gotta have 3 people. Yes. All right, come on up. Thank you.
This is the balloon and it's spinning everywhere in a circle. And then it's red.
Okay, all right, let's give them a round of applause. And let's give everyone a round of applause. Appreciate it very much. So we're going to take these ideas, guys, and you might see this later on this year. We're going to take some of the ideas that you guys have shared with us today. I really do appreciate you guys allowing Mr. Mosley and I to come into the classroom and kind of these little exploration activities with you all. I appreciate you giving me some really good predictions, observations, and explanations based on the activity that we did today. So let's give each other another round of applause. All right, so now Mr. Mosley and I are going to switch gears. What I want you to do is, put your balloon up, put it in your pocket, put it away, sit on it. It's up to you. Okay, we're going to switch gears, and I'm going to have you turn to the next page. And we're going to start another exploration activity, okay? And I'm going to turn the floor over to Mr. Mosley, and then I'm going to head to the back, and I'm going to help you pass out some things.
All right, this next activity, again, you did a wonderful job on this past activity with the balloon. Again, as scientists, we like to explore. Dig, make observation, and then we kind of come up with explanations for what we observe. So again, we're doing the same steps, but we're just going to do it with a different activity, okay? This time, the activity that we'll be doing, that's sugar. That's sugar. That's all. Yeah, that's all sugar. All right. So this activity is called stirring sugar and water. All right. And if you notice, you have to step. We're going to do the same step. We're going to make a prediction. We're going to make observation. And we are going to explain, all right? So once we pass out material, everybody has a partner with the exception of our,
I think we have enough
oh,
sugar.
yeah, everybody's gonna do it on. Okay, perfect. Everybody's gonna do it on. Perfect.
Yeah, they can
So the share water. So, have all the materials passed out. So, first thing is predict. What would you think might happen when you stir a teaspoon of sugar into a glass of warm water? So what I would like for you to do is for each of you to pour about half the water in your cup. Well, now, half a bottle of water in your cup. Each person pour about half. All right. Then we have enough water. So it doesn't matter, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. There you go, that's good, that's good. So, that should be sufficient amount of water for each cup. All right? A little bit more. All right. Now, so what you want to do is before we add the sugar, in that part that's called prediction, the prediction part, write down, what do you think might happen when you put the sugar in the water? What do you think might happen when you put the sugar in the water and stir? What do you think might happen? Let's write that down. So let's write that down. And we're not looking for you, but whatever you, again, as Ms. Hamilton stated before, if you do not want to write it down, perfectly fine to write illustration. What do I mean by illustration? That's a big word. Now, what is illustration?
You don't have to read.
You have to write. Anything else you got your hand up? See?
To draw.
Draw. Okay. Anything? Anybody else know it? Illustration? Okay.
So there's usually like, it's like, look, you could as very safe as a people that makes it look like
Oh.
these and these.
Okay. Okay.
Illustrate.
Are we ready to move on?
No.
We're not? Okay. We'll wait. We'll wait. Anybody would like to start while you finish it right down? What do you think? Prediction?
I think
It won't dissolve. It won't dissolve. Sugar won't dissolve.
I think the sugar would turn into particles.
Sugar would turn into particles. It won't dissolve. It turns into particles. Yes. You think it will dissolve? Okay. It will dissolve. Y'all have any predictions? Yes, sir. You think it will dissolve also? Okay. You have any predictions? That might what happen when you do? The water may get blurred. We got quite a few predictions, okay? Is everybody ready?
Yep.
I just want to insert something. This is an extended question that we didn't put. The students have said dissolve,
Okay.
dissolve, right? If
Right.
you can go ahead and ask.
Ask?
What do you mean by
Okay,
dissolve?
okay. Very good. What do we mean by dissolve? That's good.
They can write it down.
You write it down in your prediction. What do you mean by dissolve? That's a good scientific question. What do we mean by dissolve? We heard that twice. What do we mean by dissolve? It says won't dissolve, turn into particles, sugar will dissolve. Somebody had another, what was your prediction? Ms. Hamilton? Yes, sir.
Mine was sugar would dissolve.
The sugar will dissolve. I think that was it.
Yeah.
You said what? I'm sorry.
It would be nice to tally all of them.
Oh, that's what you said. Yeah, yeah. Oh, the south. He said the water would get blurry. All right, the water would get blurry. That's a good point. Notice that some of you are saying the same thing, so we, instead of writing again, we just put a tally mark and see,
Good.
so that both people, the people who said the same thing, can mark it as such. That's good. Anybody else would like to share their prediction with us? Anybody else? Okay. All right, now, let's take the sugar with our spoon. I think each one you have a spoon. You take about a teaspoon of that sugar, place it in the water, and let's see or let's observe what happens. That's good. Use your spoon. Use your spoon. I'm sorry. Use your spoon. Use your spoon. About a spoonful of it. There you go. Sorry about that. There you go. Yep, that's perfect. Only one. Stir. Exactly. Exactly. If you don't get a full teaspoon, that's okay. While you are stirring, observe what's happening. Just one teaspoon. There you go. Now make sure that you're observing what's happening. You don't want to miss. You're stirring. Now, as you're stirring, you see that Just as we did in the first experiment, we have the part that observes. So as you are concluding and finishing up your stirring, write down what you observed. Write down what you have observed. All right? Very good, very good. Now, as you conclude, are you finishing your story? Write down what you observed. Write down your observation. Again, if you do not want to write, draw an illustration. Good job. Good job. Again, y'all doing a very, as far as all right, we're coming to the sharing phase again. I would like for everybody again to share what their observation was. Go ahead.
The sugar broke up when it went in the water.
The sugar broke up when it went into the water. Someone from this table like to talk about what they observed? Yes, ma'am. It kind of disappeared. Yes, sir. They.
It's also like verbs, but I still see it, so.
You see some of it? So you said what you're saying is some of it is missing and some of it is still there? Okay. Sure? Okay, I'm not putting words in it, but I want to make sure you, okay, I got you. Some of it's there, some of it is gone. What about you?
The sugar dissolved.
The sugar dissolved. That's that word again. You had two people who predicted that it would dissolve. So that's that word again, dissolve. Okay. Yes, sir.
The water
The water got clear. So Ms. Hamel, can we go over those observations for me again?
Sure.
All right.
All right, so the observations that you all have expressed to us is the sugar broke up, it kind of disappeared, some of it is there, the sugar dissolved, and the water became clear.
All right. Now we go back to the explanation phase. Explanation, why? What do you think? Why do you think it happened? Your observation happened the way it happened. Why do you think the sugar broke up? Oh, I'm sorry.
That's very important.
Put on your imaginary glasses. I got real glasses. Put on your imaginary glasses. And now we have to explain why the sugar broke up. Okay. Why did it kind of disappear? Why did some stay, some leave? Why did the sugar dissolve? Why did the water become clear? And again, as we said before, your ideas are going to help us when we go back into the classroom in the fall. Some of you will see Miss Hamilton. Some of you might be seeing me. Some of you be seeing Miss Gall at McIntyre. Yes, yeah.
I went to McIntyre.
You went to McIntyre?
I went to McIntyre.
Okay.
Yeah, he
So-
went to McIntyre in second grade. That was last year.
Okay. Thank you. Now, let's write down that explanation. I greatly appreciate this. This is helping me become a better teacher, like I said. Put on the imaginary glasses. Imagine. Why? Explain. Why? What happened in your water when you place the sugar there? Why?
What will you see?
What do you see exactly? What did you see?
Your imaginary class.
I like that. Okay. So you know what, get some classes. Have to, we need to start to put them on. Like, everybody put
Maybe
on.
we should have
Yeah, put
glasses for
your,
them.
now, put your imaginary glasses on and see.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Then, there you go. I see some people already started, illustrating, writing down in the drawing. That's very good. You can go ahead and, we'll go back, but if you want to move on ahead, that's perfectly fine. Okay. All right. Let's go with the explanation. You're thinking like this: if you were wearing magic glasses and actually could see what was happening, what did we see? Anybody would like to volunteer? Write down what did they see or explain why or what happened. Bam! Thank you. What's your name again? Jacob. Son's name is Jacob. Jacob, what did you see with your imaginary glasses? I can't hear. I'm sorry. The sugar had broken down into little pieces. Okay. Sugar had broken down into little pieces. Your name?
Cameron.
Cameron.
It broke down to like little particles.
Broke down to little particles. That's a good thing. Particles. What do you mean by particles?
Ah, good.
Particles is like a menu, like things that are still in there but you can't see them.
Things that you can't see. Okay. Small things that you can't see. Okay.
I think what happened was the water dissolved because the water was warm.
Okay, she said that, so the reason why the sugar dissolved because the water was warm? And you mixed it, okay. By mixing the sugar in the warm water, that's what caused it to disappear. What about this table? Somebody. What did you see with the imaginary glasses? It got stuck to the bottom. What got stuck to the bottom? The sugar. The sugar got stuck to the bottom. I'm sorry, hold on. But then it dissolved. That's that word dissolve again. I like that. What goes away? The sugar disappears. So by stirring it, the sugar disappears, and by leaving it, it disappears. Okay. All right. Anybody else would like to share? All right. Can y'all put your imaginary glasses in your pocket now? So
Now, Mr. Moses, I will bring it to the classroom's attention that you guys really shared some excellent vocabulary. And I kind of tried to underline some new vocabulary words that, you sort of introduced to us. So a lot of students were mentioning this word dissolve, and particles was also a big hit. Okay? So, okay. All right, so because we're going to do our last little activity, we're going to spend about a couple of minutes just cleaning up a little bit. So real quick, if one student, Cameron, can you go around and just collect the spoons for me? Layla, can you go collect the sugar for me? And I'm going to assume that this thing works. Yeah. Okay. Fish died. This is a long story. Fish died, and we had to use that sink. Can you collect and pour the water out for me? Thank you. And I'll just grab these extra water bottles.
What?
Yes, you can throw those in the trash. And student accidentally put warm water in the fish tank. So you know what happened. The extra cups, guys, you can just bring up here.
You got a cup there?
No, you're ideas. Okay. Yeah, when you're transferring the solution into the.
Okay.
Okay. That's it.
All right. And sweetheart, can you take these napkins for me? still got a little water over here. All right, so those of you all who are waiting, for those of you guys, ladies, you ready? All right, for those of you waiting, go ahead and turn to the next activity. Now, the next activity will require you all to give me a little bit of input, okay, as opposed to you all having an opportunity. You're still gonna participate, but you're gonna participate a little different, okay? This technically is what I would call a teacher demonstration, where the teacher might do the actual physical activity, but the students are still involved. So, get a little closer, okay? Take your chair, okay? Slide them kind of around here, okay? Not too close. We're not what we call a hot plate here, okay? There you go. There you go. I can get one right here. I can get one right here. And let's make room for these two. So one right here. I can get somebody right here. All right, so our last one, probably we should have had you guys have your little prediction sheet.
You know what we do? Go back, we can move the tables up front, of course, that's what.
Think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's something I feel like I want you guys to.
It's going to right now.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah. Together, get a little
Jacob,
closer.
y'all come over here. Move the table up. Let's move the table up. Move the chair back. Back here.
Yeah. But you might have to come back because I want you up against your, I want you still. I want you close to it.
Come sit in.
All right, so girls, this way, a little bit, maybe on the side.
Run in.
There you go.
Run in. So you can sit. We'll move it up. Next. Stop right there. Yeah, I can put it in. Hey, come over here. Get him right here. There you go.
All right, so again, we're gonna do a little bit of predicting. We always start off every exploration activity with a little prediction, then we're gonna get into our observations and our explanation. So this time, we're gonna see, and you guys are gonna make a prediction, as to what do you think will happen when saltwater solution is heated. Okay, so a saltwater solution is when I'm gonna take a certain amount of salt, probably about a tablespoon, teaspoon, and I'm going to place it inside of this cup, and I'm going to dissolve it into the food, okay, which we talked about that vocabulary word dissolve before, okay? So right now, I want you guys to write down your predictions. What do you think is gonna happen when we make a saltwater solution and we heat it up? So this is a hot plate. Every classroom in the science classroom should have a hot plate, okay? Basically, a hot plate is almost like a miniature stove, all right? It's very hot, so you're gonna start to smell basically heat, okay? But it's a serious science piece of science equipment, okay? Because it's just like a stove, okay, like an electric stove. All right, so we got our predictions down. So when we create the solution, okay. All right, so you're going to take water. You pretty much know what to take. Add a little of that. Mix this up. Okay. Mixing this. Salt particles disappear. Okay. So now we have a solution. Okay. And even with the solution, well, I haven't done it yet. Yeah. So I went ahead and made the solution. Do you see any more salt particles down at the bottom? Well, see, now I've made a solution, okay? So now we're going to take your prediction. So what happens if you, when I heat this up? What are some of your predictions? Yes?
The particles come in, but you can't see, like, they're still
Exactly, but what happens when I warm that up?
The particles
So the particles,
aren't gonna be there anymore.
the particles aren't gonna be there anymore.
That word particle again.
Yes?
I say it's not gonna
So the solution's not gonna dissolve?
Yeah, I take that.
Hold on, hold that thought. So you said when we heat this up, that the particles, that the solution's not gonna dissolve. Okay. She said that the solution's not going to dissolve. Okay.
What's the solution?
Now, Cameron, you wanted to change your prediction? Okay, what was your revised prediction?
Particles are still gonna be there, but like you can't see them. But it's probably like the particles.
Okay, got that, Mr. Mosley?
Particles will be there now?
No, they won't dissolve.
No, the particles will not dissolve.
Okay, yes.
The salt will be left behind and the water will evaporate.
Okay, so another student, said that the particles will be left behind. Rephrase that for me.
I said the salt will be left behind.
The salt will
and
be
the water
left
will be
behind.
will evaporate.
Good, now that's a vocabulary word I haven't
Salt
heard yet.
will, salt
The
will.
salt will be left behind and the water will evaporate. Ms. Moses, be sure to underline evaporate.
Okay.
So the salt will be left behind
And the water will evaporate.
and the water will evaporate. You want to explain what evaporation is?
Yes. So when something so like when water evaporates, basically. So when you heat up water, it starts to evaporate. It becomes basically steam. So, and then the salt will just be left behind because the salt is the
Thank you.
I think you basically trying to say is like that the water isn't gonna be there anymore. So it's still.
Very good. Anyone else prediction? Okay. All right, so now, what happens when the salt water is heated? Now let's see what happens. This goes in your observation. How much we should put in there? Maybe y'all. These are like my old ones in my class, so these look very well. All right, so we're gonna have to sit patiently, but if you stand up a little bit, then we can get a little bit closer. Be very careful though. Okay, if we get a little closer, we definitely want to see our observation. Try not to go off the table. This is gonna get hot. We don't want it to fall.
On paper, right?
maybe if you sit and just a little bit and start to see what's going on.
You have to get your prediction. The particles will not dissolve, solution will not dissolve, salt will be left behind, plus the water will evaporate.
Yeah.
You ready to go back and write some observations down? You've seen enough. Okay, so if you do feel comfortable and you feel like you've seen enough in your observations, remember you can either illustrate it or you can write it, but you can return to your seat and you can go back and you can start writing your observations down. Something else is going on. I don't know if everybody noticed. Some of us might have went back too soon. No, I thought you said you saw enough.
That's easy to observe.
That's easy to observe.
I see salt. Smells like my iron. Smells like iron. Oh.
So feel free while you're making your observations to kind of come back, take a look. That's what.
I see more.
Just gonna crank it all the way.
Yeah, that's what. If it's
I do not know what's in for salt. Right there on that door.
Some of you have written down your observations, write it down, we still make observations as we go along.
Yeah.
So let me,
So
some of
let's
you
start, I agree with Mr. Mosley. Let's start getting some of our initial observations, so our beginning observations down. And then we can add more to it as this continues, because it's gonna change, okay?
Destiny.
I said the salt is flowing.
So what?
The salt is flowing. That might be.
Take time.
The salt is flowing.
Salt is boiling.
And it's not dissolving.
Salt is boiling, but it's not dissolved.
Guys, remember in science, you gotta be very respectful to the area. Does anybody else have any initial
You said,
observations?
Destiny, you said the salt is boiling and what?
It is not dissolving.
It is not dissolved.
yeah, I said that too.
Said that too? Put a check.
You have any observations?
It was going to finish.
You have feel like anymore?
What's wrong?
The water is
No.
The water burning?
All right, guys, let's go back to our seats and write our observations down first.
No, I think.
So let's head on back to our seats and see the next stage of observations. Let's go back. Thank you.
Yes,
Careful.
The water was boiling before.
The water was boiling and stuff.
What is it? Okay, we'll take a look at the observations so we can. All right, so Mr. Mosley, let's go over our observations real quick. All
Any more?
right, any more observations, initial observations?
This is what we have so far. Everybody, salt is boiling and and the water is, and it's not dissolved. Not dissolved. I think two people said that. The water is burning, the water is boiling, the salt. The water is boiling, salt anymore?
Okay, so, because I know we're a little short on time, we're gonna get to the explanation, okay? So everybody put your imaginary glasses on.
Take them out your pocket.
Put your imaginary glasses on. Hold on. Thank you. Contacts. Put your imaginary glasses on. Now, your imaginary glasses, what would you see if you were to wear your imaginary glasses, okay, and actually could see what was happening to the water? Describe that in your explanation, okay? What's happening to the water? Got your imaginary glasses on, so that allows you to be able to see what's happening to the water. Now, when you're finished with that, you can go ahead and draw your picture, or you can sketch your idea down at the bottom. So you can just go ahead and go into the second part. So you have your imaginary glasses on. And having your imaginary glasses gives you the ability to see what's happening to this water. soon as you're done with that, you feel like you've explained it, you can go ahead and draw your sketch. Ms. Mosley, you got a explanation? Yes.
The soil is still there, and it's in the water is boiling with the salt.
Okay, so the salt is still there and the water is boiling with the salt. Yes.
The heat is wrong. The heat is.
All right, take your time. She's getting her thoughts together.
And the water and the salt is not the salt is not dissolved.
Okay.
Water's boiling, but the salt is not dissolved.
Now, she mentioned something about heat too.
Yeah, the heat is
The heat is boiling the water. And you said the salt is still there. And the salt is not dissolving. All right, yes. What's your explanation?
The water is turned to a gas.
Okay, so all the water is turning to a gas.
All the water, that's good. What do you mean by that? I don't understand.
Yes.
Things like it's turned to smoke. But it's not turning like it.
You said gas, though. What do you mean by that?
I guess like an
Ask
air.
him to take just a. I'll take, you're going,
Yeah.
okay.
Speak up so everybody can hear. Speak up so everybody can hear. That's what I got you. You said the water's turning to a gas. How do you know that?
The water.
Can't be right. I'm just asking. I just want you to explain. You said all water is turning. All the water is turning into a gas. So I'm gonna see no thought. But it's stuff that's no term that I haven't seen it then. Can you explain that to help us the rest of the class? What do you mean by turning to a gas? I mean like gas you pump into your car when I go to the service station? Like smoke, okay. So is that what you talking about, what you're seeing now? Okay, so you mean this stuff right here? Okay, all right, I just want to get an explanation. I'm thinking you said gas, I think you said gas you put in your car. Okay.
All right, Mr. Mosley, just so we can save time, we're just gonna come up to the Elmo.
Okay.
And we're gonna have my new friend Layla just describe her picture for me.
That's not really, that's a joke. I ain't know.
I think it's a cute hairstyle and the headbands.
okay. So this is like
So you have steam, let me just be clear, so you have steam coming out as well as the particles from the salt still in there. Okay, thank you, very good. One more person, anyone else want to come up explain their picture on the Elmo? Don't be shy, yes, bring yours up. Are you sure? Okay. Anyone else have an explanation? Anyone else? Bring yours up. Layla. All right, come on, Layla's gonna bring hers up real quick. Bring it up, Layla. Thank you. All right, so Layla's gonna be our last explanation. There you go. So what do we have there, Layla? Show us. So you said the steam And you said the water, and she's illustrated the bubbles. All right, thank you. All right, so, yes.
You're going to ask the last question. What's common to all of these activities we do?
Okay. So, we've done 3 different activities, guys, that are up on the board. We did the balloon activity, we did the sugar water activity, and then now we're doing the heated salt water activity. So what do you think is common of all these activities?
They all have to do with summer,
Oh, yeah.
and they all have to, some part, they all have to do with, particles.
Okay. Anyone else? What else does it have to deal with? Science? Anything else? Anything else? All of these activities, what do they have to deal with? Yeah.
Okay,
Hold on.
they have to
Think about what do all of these activities maybe have in common? Maybe dealing with air? Okay, yes.
Some have to do with the balloon and the sugar water and the salt water. They all have to do with they all dissolve or something. The particles all dissolve. So not in that one.
Okay. All right, I'll take one more. Anyone else? What do all of these activities have in common? Anyone else? Okay, well, I want you guys to think about these activities and use these as an anchor, okay? Something to kind of help you in the fall when your teacher perhaps revisits these at Burning, McIntyre, Stevenson, so on and so forth. So think about these activities as you guys go into the next school year, okay? You guys have been a great audience. You've given us lots of information. Give yourselves a round of applause. Give your teacher a round of applause for allowing you to come here, okay? All right, you think we can put the classroom back together?
Yep.
All right, so you put it back together. On your way out, I hear you guys are headed to lunch. You can kind of see those what are we missing? I understand Did everybody get a chance to see the pen? And touch it? Oh, no. You get a chance to touch it. All right, did everybody finish cleaning up? Got some extra chairs right here.
Yeah. Right here? This one's not here. Again, I want to thank you all again, all right? Appreciate it. Y'all gave us a lot of information.
Yes, and thank you guys again. Have a rest of a fabulous summer.
The last week.
I don't know, would you like for us to keep this here? They can always look at it.
Sure, you can just leave it
Like
right
a little souvenir.
Yes, yes, that would be great. You guys, girls.
This is after you come back. I think she wants to get you guys ready first.
That's right, Jay. Pay attention, man. I need all the boys to have a seat. Girls line up first. We're not doing this, okay? Okay. Line up.
Oh, did I get everybody's sheet? Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Come back and get it.
No, you didn't. Wait a minute, one in the chair back here.
Is that mine? Cameron.
Oh, so we can,
There was one on the chair over there.
Oh, that's the blank one, or
No.
that's it?
You can go ahead. Okay, hold for next fight.
Hold on, let me keep them.
Let's push the chair, break up.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna do that,
Tell me,
right?
do you have any lines?
We're not gonna
How do we start?
Yes.